Hello friends, welcome to my channel Basics of Microbiology by Dr. Kiran. I am back again with a very important and interesting topic. As in microbiology, we have different branches like bacteriology, mycology, virology. So for every branch, diagnostic modalities are different. So today we will learn about how to diagnose fungal infection, and this is the base for diagnosing any disease related to fungus. So even if any question comes on writing fungal infection diagnosis and we are not able to recall that specific fungus, so if the basic concept of diagnosing fungal infection is clear in our mind, we can easily write about that fungal infection. So it's very important topic, and please pay attention to this video. So now let's start with our topic, how to diagnose fungal infections. So first of all, when we are diagnosing any fungal infection, depending upon what sample, starting from the specimen, that what sample could come, that is depending upon what disease these fungus are causing. Like if we are having the dermatophyte infections, so they usually affect our skin, hair or nail. Like cryptococcus, that is can cause the meningitis, so we can have the CSF. We can also have sputum, blood sample or biopsies. So first of all, once we receive the specimen, we do the microscopy examination, that is the QH preparation. So that is the potassium hydroxide preparation, and we take 10% of QH. That is, what's the role of QH? That is, QH mainly digests the keratin material. So when we having the sample skin or hair, we take the 10% QH and we take QH on the slide, and on that we will put our sample. That is, either we have the skin scrapings or we have the hair, and put a cover slip on that and slightly heat it so that it will further help the digesting this creatine material, and then we can look under the 10x, then under the 40x. So we will look for any fungal infection, any hyphae we are able to see. If there is a nail, because nail is very hardy material, so for digesting it we need 40% of QH, and that for that we are using the high concentration of QH. Then in certain biopsies, even for that we also need the QH preparation. So for that, we what we do, we take 10% of QH and we take in a tube, and in that we add the biopsy and we put over the whole night, and then the next day we will look for the any fungal infections. Then gram stain, we can also go for the gram stain, that is for the yeast or yeast like, that is the candida or the cryptococcus. So that gives the gram stain, that is a gram positive budding yeast cells are being seen. And usually there could be some confusion among the gram positive cocci or the this candida. So it could easily be differentiated on the basis of the size that I have already told in the previous lecture. That is, the size of the cocci is very small, that is 0.5 to 1 micron approximate, and the candida are approximate 3 to 4 micron in size. So we can easily make out they are very big in size. And on the top of that, if we are noticing the buds are coming from it, like we can easily see in this slide, so that is sure that it is a candida. It could be any yeast. Another method is India ink. So India ink is a type of a negative staining method in which we take a slide, and there we take a, it is a dark, India ink is a dark blue colored dye. So that we take over the slide and we mix the colony that we got on the this media, and mix it and put a cover slip on that, and we will visualize it under 10x and then in 40x. So what we notice, that a blue colored, dark blue colored yeast cell will be seen, and these cells are surrounded by refractile capsule, and this capsule is not stained but the cell is stained. So we want to see this capsule and we are staining the cell. So it is a totally different method. Usually what we do, what we want to see, we are staining that part. Therefore it is called as negative staining. And Cryptococcus neoformans, that is a capsulated yeast. So for that we used to do the India ink method. Then another are the calcofluor white stain. and certain histopathological stain, that is for the biopsy, tissue biopsy if we are getting. So like periodic acid shift stain is there, and Gomery's methenamine silver staining, musicarmine stain, hematoxylinosin stain, Mason Fontana. For different type of yeast we need different type of stains. So this is most important, that is the lactopherol cotton blue LPCB mount. So this LPCB mount, as the name suggests, that is there is a cotton blue colored dye is there which stains the fungal element. L stands for the lactic acid, so that will preserve the morphology of the fungus. Then P is for phenol, that acts as disinfectant. So whenever, and then glycerol is there which prevents the drying of the slide. So whenever we get any growth on the media, so we do this LPCB mount to know the morphology of that fungus, and that will help in diagnosing that fungus. So this slide shows the LPCB mount of the isolated fungus. Then comes the culture. So we have done the microscopic examination for the fungus, whatever different stains we can use. Then comes the culture, that is the very important part. We are isolating the fungus, and what the media we use, that is SDA, that is the Sabrous dextrose agar, and it is the most common media which is being used. It contains peptone and dextrose. Then there is some modification of this SDA, that is neutral SDA, that is also known as Emmons modification, and in that a better quality of peptone is being used, that is neopeptone, and the dextrose concentration is being reduced. Like in Sabrous we are using 4% dextrose, in neutral SDA we are using 2% dextrose. Then there is another SDA with antibiotics. So we are using two antibiotics like chloramphenicol and gentamicin. And then we have the antifungal also like cycloheximide, that is also known as Actidion. And usually this SDA we are using when we are having the chance, like we are having any specimen where there could be a bacterial contaminant or there could be any saprotrophic fungus. So for inhibiting this saprotrophic fungus, we are using cycloheximide, and for stopping the growth of bacteria we are using these antibiotics. So this is the SDA media and showing certain moist colonies are there, so it is a yeast growth is there on the Sabrous dextrose agar media. Now there are other medias which are being used like corn meal, so they are not being routinely used, they are being used for specific fungus. In routine we are using the SDA media. So this cornmeal agar, cornmeal agar is a nutritionally deficient media, and this media is generally being used to stimulate the production of asexual spores. So like I have told in the previous lecture only, that is like chlamydospores. So these chlamydospore production will help in differentiating the different species. Then there is another media, brain heart infusion agar. This is and blood agar. They are being used for the fastidious fungus like histoplasma is there, cryptococcus is there. So for the fastidious fungus. Then Niger seed agar, bird seed agar. So they are used for cryptococcus, and chrome agar, which is specifically used in candida. So this chrome agar using the chromogenic media, and on the basis of different color production, uh, different species of candida being are being differentiated. So this is the cornmeal agar, and these are being shown as the chlamydospore productions. So usually it is a nutritionally deficient media, so it will stimulate the formation or production of these spores. Then the culture condition. So culture condition is also different for fungus. Media is also different. Culture condition is also, so it is totally different from the bacteria. So temperature, like in bacteriology, we are using 37 degrees centigrade. Here we are using 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. Then only for the dimorphic fungus, as they can grow in both the temperatures, that is like yeast and the molds. So at different temperature, dimorphic fungus can grow. Then specifically BOD incubators are being needed, that is the In bacteriology, we are just saying incubators are being needed. In mycology, we having the BOD incubator, that is the biological oxygen demand. So these incubators, they are specifically used in mycology lab, and they maintain the 25 degree centigrade. Incubation period needed 2 to 3 weeks. Now, how we will identify these isolates once they are grown on the media? So first of all, the macroscopic appearance, that is very important when we are isolating or when we are diagnosing a case of fungal infection. First of all, whether the growth is rapid or slow. If it is growing within 5 days, then it is a rapid growth, and they are usually saprophytes. That is the saprotrophic fungus. And then there could be yeast. So yeast usually we are able to, on when we are visualizing this fungus, yeast usually they are creamy like colonies are there. You can easily notice that this could be yeast. Then moles, they usually show the slow growth like the dermatophytes. They are very slow growers. And the fungus which are causing the systemic mycosis like histoplasma, blastomyces. So they all are causing the slow growth. Then pigmentation. So once we have noticed the time taken by the this fungus to grow, then pigmentation. So we have to see the slant when we are seeing this tube of fungus. So we are seeing the pigment that is showing on the colonies on that, and reverse means to the back of the tube which pigment. So we have to notice both the pigment, that is on the obverse side and on the reverse side. Then texture. Texture means how will you feel when you will touch that colony, but we don't have to touch that colony. So you just have to appreciate what will be the feeling, whether the colony which we are looking at, whether they are moist colonies like of yeast, creamy colonies, or whether they are cottony, that means like you are noticing like a cotton like growth, or they are velvety velvet texture. So depending on that, we have to notice that texture. Then the colony topography, that is whether they are colonies which we are seeing, whether they are rugose, varicose, or cerebriform. So that you can see the cottony growth, it will be like a cotton. This slide shows velvety growth. Then comes the microscopic appearance. So in microscopic appearance, we will do the LPCB mount. So for that, what we will do, that is we are taking a slide, and we are taking this LPCB, that is the cotton blue dye is there. We take 1 drop of that, and we take out the colony from the fungus, and then we will try to tease it on that LPCB drop, and then we will put a cover slip, and we will examine under the 10x. If we are noticing any hyphae fungus there, then we will finally confirm it under the 40x. So what we are noticing there, we are noticing what type of hyphae are there, like whether they are septate, aseptate, what like whether they are phaeoid fungus or whether they are hyaline fungus. Phaeoid means that is they are black color. Certain fungi are which are diatomaceous fungi, what we say, that is they are black colored fungi. So they will not take up this blue stain. And hyaline fungus, they will take this blue color, so they will appear like blue. We will notice for the hyphae whether they are septate or aseptate. Then we will notice that that whole structure, that is what type of sporulation they are producing, conidias, microconidias, sporangiums, sporangiophores. So all that structures will be correlated, and that will help in the final conclusion that what could be this fungus. So this is how we have taken this slide. We are taking this LPCB, this LPCB drop on that slide, and we are taking that fungus out there, and we are teasing with the needle. Teasing needle is there, and putting cover slip and examine under the microscope. Then comes the slide culture. So when the fungal growth is old, at that time we are not able to appreciate fungal structure arrangements properly on LPCB mount. So at that time we need this slide culture technique. And what we do in this slide culture technique, we take a sterile petri dish, and in that sterile petri dish we will put a sterile filter paper, and which is soaked in water. Then we put over that this bent glass rod, and on that put a slide, sterile slide. On the top of this slide, we put two square agar blocks, that is SDA block, and that is of size of 1 centimeter square. So on that square agar blocks, we will inoculate that isolated fungal growth on the corners of this agar media, and we put the cover slip on that, and we will incubate that in the BOD. So in this slide, we are noticing that this slide culture technique is being done, and once we have inoculated, we incubate it. So after that, we will get a very good morphology of the fungus, and it's very easy to identify these structures of fungus, and we will finally conclude what fungus is that. Then what are the other methods which can be done? And these are specific methods used for specific fungus, like germ tube detection method being done for Candida, and that we will tell in detail in the Candida lecture. Like sugar fermentation is there, sugar assimilation is there. Then hair perforation test being done for dermatophytes. Dermatophyte test media specifically used for dermatophytes. Urease test done for Cryptococcus. Now I have also shown in this, that is a germ tube test. So what we do germ tube test, that we are once we are suspecting that it is Candida, and we want to know whether they are albicans Candida or they are non-albicans Candida. So for that, that is the species of Candida. So for that, we do this germ tube test, and what we do, we take serum, either it is a human serum or we can take sheep serum in a tube, and we inoculated that colony which we have isolated on SDA media, and keep this inoculated in the serum in the incubator. And after 2 hours, we will take a drop of that on the slide, and we will visualize under 10x and 40x. And if we are noticing that certain tube like structures has come out from the yeast cells, so that is going in the favor of Candida albicans. And if we are just seeing only the buds are coming, only no tube like structure are there, so it is non-albicans Candida. So that is very commonly being done, that is the germ tube test. Then immunological methods, antibody detection method like by ELISA, CFT, antigen detection, latex agglutination test done usually in the Cryptococcus neoformans, immunohistochemistry also done, then metabolite test by GLC, hypersensitivity test for this systemic mycosis, molecular method. Usually as this fungus takes so much time to grow, we can also go for the molecular methods. Let's start with quick revision, that is there could be different specimens which can come according to disease, and then we do the microscopic examination, that is by the QH mount. That is very important, depending upon what sample is this, 10% or 40%, 10% for your skin and hair, and 40% for nail, and for the biopsies. For biopsy, you can also take 40%. Then India ink can be done, that is for the capsulated yeast like Cryptococcus. Then histopathological staining, that is for the different biopsies. Then after that, culture is done on the SDA media, that is the Sabros dextrose agar media. And if there is a chance of any bacterial contaminant or saprotrophic fungus to grow, then we can use SDA with the antibiotic and cyclohexamide. Once the growth has come, we have to do the macroscopic appearance. So we have to see what pigment production, what time the growth has taken to grow, pigmentation, obverse side, reverse side, texture, then colony topography. After that, we will do the LPCB mount. In that, we will check for what type of hyphae have been produced, then sporulation have been produced or not, whether they are septate hyphae, aseptate hyphae. So all that we will do in the LPCB mount. Then what other tests we can do, that is cornmeal agar is there for chlamydospore protection. We can also use chrome agar in Candida. Then other tests, germ tube test, sugar assimilation test. Then we can also go for the immunological testing, and that is the antigen testing or the antibody testing, and molecular techniques. So that's all for the today's lecture. Hope so. This video will be helpful to you for developing basic concept for diagnosing any fungal infection. So please like and share so that the other people can also be benefited.